Hey everyone, this is Nitro. I'm just doing another Nitro setup video here, and I'm going to start as always by covering the equipment farming results. So the very first thing to cover is that, and we can see from this image that the previous week I ended up getting just 6 SSRs, and then last week I ended up with 8. So, first things first, I did play on Sunday, and I was able to get the timeless trials done for that previous week as well. So, the 2 weeks of timeless trials ended up giving me a Holy Ark and an Angel Feather. So the Angel Feather actually raises me to have an Angel Feather that's level 50. Not that I have any real use for it, but I do have the option to make a level 50 Angel Feather now. Other than that, in terms of the 3 gambles last week, I've actually picked up 2 useful new items. The first was my very first Pale Staff, and the second one was a second copy of Baldur's White Robe. So, pretty decent items overall. Haven't picked up anything new. I guess the Pale Staff is something new, but other than that, it's not really a top tier new item, is what I kind of mean. So, other than that, from the Maiden Voyage event, I didn't really get anything good. And from the equipment banner, I actually did do 80 summons, 80 Trinity tickets on it, and I ended up with 3 Hands of Tear, 1 Giant's Resistance, and 1 Reaper's Breath. So the 3 Hands of Tear especially will be useful to me, and I'm developing those right now, but it's a gold limitation at this time. Gold and Aura Column Ore limitation. Other than that though, in terms of the equipment farming results, there was my 4th Oath of Justice on Monday from 2 daily runs, an Alvar Staff which is ore, my 4th Najord's Feathered Crown, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, and as well as a Dark Crown, and then that's all. I think I actually kept this for now. I got a Tiara which is ored, a Twilight Helmet, and then 2 Nighthawks. So overall, mainly ore items, a few items that I keep that just sit in my inventory for a while, and overall though, no real complaints about the Dragon Farm results last week. So with that covered, let's briefly move into the game first and talk about some of the changes. So, in terms of SSRs, it's kind of crazy though. I'm still lacking some of the items that I really want. Just a few, But the one that really continues to stand out is my lack of an Extreme Magic Bow. I just want one. Really, I just want one. We'll see what happens. Weaponry though, there's the Extreme Magic Bow. I could use a second Balanced Blade. I could use a Mimir's War Axe. In truth, that's why I actually did the weapon gambles, the equipment banner gambles. I was hoping to get a Mimir's War Axe. I did get 3 of the Hands of Tear though, so I can't complain about that. But the rest of the items, the weapons, that I don't really want at this time. It's really just Mimir, 1 copy of Extreme Magic Bow, 1 copy of Mimir's War Axe, and 1 Balanced Blade. That's all I really truly hope for. Armor wise, nothing of the ones that I'm missing do I particularly want. Like, I don't care about the Fujin's Wing, for example. I just really want more copies of Last Rites and more copies of the Tenos Robe. Headgear, I can always use more King's Crown. That's really it. Tenos headdresses would be nice. Yeah, King's Crown, Tenos headdress. I have enough Odin Battle's Helm. I could use a few more Soul Stealer headdresses. And I have enough Charons now. And the missing items I think are mostly exclusives, so I don't really care about those. Especially when I got more than enough Hands of Tear now. And then accessory wise, really accessories, I just want a pair of Apex boots, ideally. A pair of Divine boots would be nice as well. But those are the 2 I really want. Actually, I could use a Juggler plushie too. So, but at this point, if I don't get these items, it's not the end of the world. They're very much more nice to haves at this point. So that's the gear that I'm missing. So at the same time, I'm going to actually do my equipment gambles quickly, because I haven't done them yet for this new week. So Let's see. Weapon, Hydra Bow. Weapon, Last Night. Weapon, Goddess Left Hand. Nothing I want. Armor, Galaxy Cloak. Armor, Twilight Helmet. Twilight Armor. And Armor, and Aces Armor. Headgear, Carbon Fiber. Headgear, Loki's Mask. And Headgear, Tiara. So nothing good this week. And you can see just like that, right? That was 1800 Aura Column Ore used. So I'll purchase an Epic Martial Spirit so I can raise something to level 50 with 3 of them. But that's really all my ore for the week. Next, well, I did a lot of summons, as you all know, on the Yusuke Kurama banner. And I did not turn this into shards, into memory shards yet, so I'm going to do it now. And we can see here I'm getting 8,710 memory shards in one go. It's no surprise because I did 297 summons on the day of, and I actually did a few more, 21 more yesterday in fact. So that was 297 plus 21, that's what? 318 summons so far, and I still don't have Yusuke. But I'll extract all this into Memory Essence so that I can purchase a Runestone for now. And you know, I am tempted to purchase the SSR accessory as well, but we'll see. You know what? Let's just do it. Slayer's Emblem. Okay, that's okay. So, with all those done, right? I should also mention the 21 new summons did get me another copy of Kurama. So that makes it 2 off-banner heroes and 3 copies of Kurama now. I just want 1 Yusuke. This is brutal. So we'll see how that goes. Next then, let's talk about my shard farming plans actually. And I'm going to quickly jump out of the game to do so. So, in terms of shard farming, what I'm looking at now is I've changed my plans completely. Originally, I had set myself up so I could start farming up Yusuke, but I didn't get a copy of him. So, my original plan was to do Gizaroff, Young Jessica, and Yusuke, right? Kind of focus on the Mythical Realm faction. So that Gizaroff's faction buff will buff up all these characters and so on. But without Yusuke, doing Gizaroff is pointless. And while I do want to get Young Jessica to 5 stars, it's actually not really a priority. So ultimately, after thinking about it, I decided to change it up significantly, and I'm currently going to do Leonhard, Illustrial, and Waller. Right? They are all 3 of them are Origins of Light characters. Wait, no, Waller isn't. Sorry, Leonhard and Illustrial are Origins of Light characters, but Waller is a strong healer choice, especially, and a very good choice for replacing Chloe, in fact. So, and in addition, these 3 are some of my longer grinds, right? So I'm gonna focus on these 3 for a while. I figure grinding up these 3 will probably be better off in the long term for me than anyone else. Yeah. Of course, I should mention, all Illustrial will be because I want her finished for when her exclusive is available, so that she can be my ignoring guard attacker. Leonhard, because Leonhard really needs to be 6 stars in my opinion, and then Waller because he is a good healer to replace Chloe for PvP. So that's why I'm grinding up these 3. If I were to focus on PvE content, right, I should probably get Lanford up to 5 stars, for example. Probably get Young Jessica or Renee up to 5 stars. Most likely Young Jessica over Renee. And yeah. And of course, I think those would be the, and then I do kind of want to look at Shafaniel up to 6 stars so that she can actually be used for PvP. In addition, other than that, Joshua really should be raised to 5 stars because that way Joshua can be used properly for clearing some of the some of the ancient beckoning battles more easily. But my plan for Joshua is, if I'm going to do Joshua, it would probably be Joshua and Sakura and Yusuke at the same time, right? Assuming I get Yusuke. So we'll see how that goes. I really, really do want Yusuke, I'm going to be honest. But I've already done over 400 draws now, and I still don't have a copy of Yusuke's. And I don't know how many more draws I will have. So we'll see. Right. There's 10 days left for me to collect vouchers and crystals, so we'll see how that goes. So, in any case, for the next while, I'm going to be grinding up Wilder, Illustrial, and Leonhard. So I won't be changing it up in terms of my shard farming for quite some time. So, let's jump back into the game now. And other than shard farming, the remaining things to talk about, I guess, would be my SR status of the SR heroes that I have, right? Now, everyone was complete except for 2 characters, which is Vargas and Serena, right? So we can see here Vargas managed to finish himself very easily. And then Serena is close to 5 stars now. So my remaining SR characters are grinding up pretty well. Oh, and I suppose there is also Alfred, who is who has actually surpassed Serena already, right? So I guess I got lots of Alfred shards, but didn't get very many Serena shards. Got far more shards of other heroes that are already at 6 stars at the end of the day. So I'm going to just, might as well finish up Vargas then, since he's hit 6 stars.
Oh,
so that just leaves 2 SR heroes left to farm up, Serena and Alfred. And neither of them I plan to use. They'll just eventually hit 6 stars as I do more summons on banners. So that is very much my current status. I'll also extract these for more memory shards. Alright. So, other than that, gear change wise, for now what I've done is I've given my 5-star Ledin, he can now use either a Charon or a Hand of Tyr, right? So he can rotate between these two. I mean, he is already one-shotting characters, so I don't know if I actually need a Hand of Tyr for him, but at least I have it for, you know, at the end of the day. I'm probably looking at giving Bernhard a Hand of Tyr as well, in truth, right? And then the last Hand of Tyr is the one that I should kind of decide on who I should go to. You know, as I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it previously, but basically any character who can equip a Hand of Tyr should equip one. You know? So, because at least that's for PvP purposes. So I'm going to be steadily upgrading these to level 50 and equipping them on characters. I'm just trying to decide who the last 2 will go to. And I actually realized that I could actually still use more of these. Crazy as it sounds, you know, there are that many Lancer, Infantry, and Cavalry characters. And if you want one for every single one, you're going to need more than just 4. And in terms of the gear that I got, I'm going to just first get rid of all of these items. And I'm going to start getting rid of some of the ones that I just got that I will never level up. Like the Loki's mask, the tiara. I don't need another carbon fiber helmet, you know. I'll hold on to the Goddess left hand because you never know when you need one. You know. And I'm certainly not going to level up another Last Night. So at least that way I can turn some of the resources I use back into ore for future purposes. So you can see I also still have those 2 Nighthawks. Haven't really decided what to do with them. I'm not exactly in dire need for Ore Column ore right now, so that's why I'm holding on to the ones that I may potentially need, like the Blue Moon and so on and so forth. So we'll see how that goes. And is there anything else to mention? I guess the very last thing I'll mention is, well, 2 things. First, Listel. I am slowly switching her enchants, or trying to switch her enchants, to have defense, magic defense, and hit points, right? She is one of the characters that could really use all 3 on her enchants. It's not easy to get all 3 stats, but she can use all 3 because her defense growth is A, which allows her to have extremely high defense to survive attacks from enemy assassins. Her magic defense increase means she has higher intelligence for if she decides to use Mind Bore. And then hit points, of course, hit points means Blood Dance. Generally speaking, if I had to focus on just 2, I would say hit points and defense. But magic defense would be nice to have if you decide to use skills like Siphon or Mind Bore rather than skills like Reaper's Touch and Blood Dance. Ultimately, it really depends on the skills you bring. If you plan to use Blood Dance, Reaper's Touch, and then, Seal or Demon God Bulwark or Bloody Deluge, then you're going to want just hit points and defense. If you plan to use the skills like Mind Bore and Siphon, then you will want magic defense. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So, nonetheless, oh yeah, so I should also mention my Bozel hit 6 stars last week. My Yulia also hit 6 stars last week after quite some time spent grinding them up. So, and they're both, I should mention, Mythical Realm characters. So actually, I am surprisingly good when it comes to Mythical Realm as a faction, right? If I have Juggler, I have quite a few characters of Mythical Realm who could actually I could actually use Mythical Realm for PvE purposes, crazily enough, right? My party would be, let's say, Juggler, right? Yulia and Young Jessica as single target strikers. And then healer wise, right, there's a whole bunch. And Gizzer off as the faction buffer. But ultimately, I play a hybrid mixed faction when it comes to PvE content. So, but I just thought it was an interesting thing to note. And then last but not least would be to cover my training ground briefly, and it's going pretty well actually. I mean, I've been focusing very much on upgrading the Archer and Assassin training ground, so that's why it has 60% attack increase now. There is just, I think, 10% to go. 4% here, and then 6% in the attack here, for a total of 70% attack increase. So basically that means every single stat can theoretically get 70%, right? 70% hit points, 70% attack, 70% defense and magic defense. It's actually quite dramatic, right? So, but yeah, whether I can get that upgraded over time, I suppose. And it's these upgrades that show how important it is to have your training ground properly upgraded for PvP. So for now though, I am going to be focusing on increasing the attack value of all my training grounds before I look into upgrading, defense and then maybe hit points after that. So that's pretty much my current status in terms of the upgrades. Still focusing on maxing out attack. In terms of training grounds that I'm focusing on, it's probably the last 4: Cavalry, Flyer, Archer and Assassin, and Holy and Demon. Then I'll look at Infantry, and then last would be the Lancer training ground. So I don't use that many Lancer soldiers, that's why the training ground here is my lowest priority. And yeah, that really sums up my current training ground status. It is very behind compared to a lot of other top tier players, but it's enough for me to get into the top 56 of Apex Arena. And at the end of the day, that's truly all I personally look to do. If I get beyond top 256, that's a bonus. But if I just get 256, I'm okay with that too. And so that covers everything I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nitro out.